Hello, everybody. Again, I am JDavis. I'm the founder of Radio Entrepreneurs, and we continue to stream stories as we get into the fall. Sorry, I have to remind you of leadership, entrepreneurship, how people are dealing with this ever-changing economy. Our next guest is Jim Schimpf, founder and CEO of Chattr. Welcome, Jim.
It's great to be here, Jeffrey. Happy
Thank you.
Tuesday after Labor Day.
Thank you very much. I don't know if we're going to be airing on a Tuesday, but you don't know. That's okay. Jim, tell us about Chattr.
So Chattr is a hiring automation platform that specifically solves the problems for retail, restaurant, hospitality, senior living organizations that deal specifically with hourly and frontline workforce. We use AI-powered tools to help automate the laborious hiring process that these frontline managers go through.
Well, I want more details. Explain to me. Let's pretend that I'm running a senior home. How, give me the details versus what I'm doing now.
So typically with senior care facilities, the director of nursing or the executive director has either a recruiter or they rely solely on the staff to basically staff the entire organization, from sourcing applicants to engaging with those applicants. A lot of these applicants work, 3 different shifts. They can work first shift, second shift, third shift. So the key to capturing these applicants at the highest point of interest is speed. So we put our process in place to basically supercharge these hiring teams with AI and automation to get these applicants through the process: screening, sourcing, scheduling them for interviews, literally all while the hiring teams are sleeping.
Interesting. And when did you start this business?
So we started it in 2019 and we brought it to market in 2020, right before COVID hit. So that was a great time to do it. We launched the business in the retail space. One of our first customers was a company called Bell's Outlet with 700 retail locations across the country. And they had a huge issue. Their hiring times, it took them 34 and a half days on average to hire a $12 an hour employee. And that was because the store managers that were working in these stores, in the back room, a closet where they would go back and go through this hiring process, I mean, they were completely relying on themselves to staff their stores. So we brought Chattr in, and after a few months, we dropped that hiring time from 34 days down to almost 4 days. So it's a huge game changer. The store managers loved it. Everything was automated. They had more time to spend with guests. They had more time to spend with their teams. They had more time to invest in themselves because we were automating a lot of the low value, minutia tasks that go relative to the front line.
It's quite dramatic. Is this unique to your technology, or is this just a whole new way and a new industry that's sort of out there?
I think it's you look at it 2 ways. In 2020, we brought a new technology to the market, but it was also a new way of thinking. Traditionally, these frontline managers, they're on their own. They're on an island, and they have these large, kind of outdated hiring systems that were brought to market in the early 2010s, and they're forced to use these recruiting tools that were built for recruiters. We brought Chattr to the market to bring a recruiting tool that was built for the frontline worker and the frontline manager that was literally working inside a Kentucky Fried Chicken or a Waffle House or a Bell's Outlet store, and with over 100% annual turnover, you can only imagine the process that they have to go through over and over and again. Engaging, screening, scheduling, hiring, engaging, screening, scheduling, hiring, over and over and over again. I mean, some of these fast food restaurants, they change out their entire staff every 60 to 70 days based on their annual attrition rates.
Wow. So let's go into the Wayback Machine. Can you please tell us your path to this company?
Yeah, so I right out of college, I started as a staffing recruiter. I worked for the largest staffing company in the country, a company called Aerotech at the time. So that's where I learned how to be a recruiter. And when I turned 30, I said, you know what? It's time to stop working for the man. I'm going to be an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. I went through a couple of different businesses. I had a health club. I had a direct marketing company for 15 years. And what happens, I read this book, Bold, by Peter Diamandis and Stephen Coulter. And Peter talked about the 6 exponential technologies coming to the world. And this was in 2014. And one of those exponential technologies was AI and automation. And I thought, you know what? There's something to be said about that. And it was interesting because they talked about this coming to the world over the next 25 years. Well, fast forward, I mean, look at us in 2024. But I read this book and I thought to myself, as an entrepreneur who wants to do big things and solve big problems, I thought, what do I know already? I know staffing. And so I looked at the market and I see what industries have a big problem with staffing where we can implement AI and automation into it. And naturally, the first industry I thought about was retail and restaurant and hospitality. In my early days, when I was 14 years old, I worked at a Burger King. I was a famous milkshake mascot out on the highway, bringing people in during the summertime to have those strawberry milkshakes. But I remember like all the time, but we had new people in the restaurant all the time. And I can only imagine what the restaurant general manager was having to go through to recruit and hire these people over and over and over again. So after reading the book, I knew I wanted to be involved in AI. I knew it was the way of the future. So I put my head down, and over a 2-year period, we built the first version, multiple iterations of the product. We launched with a basic chatbot at the time, and the basic chatbot was an enhanced version of the Verizon chatbot that everybody experienced when they dialed into customer service when their bill was wrong. And we knew that we didn't want to be that because we needed something that was a little bit more conversational, more engaging. So we really spent the first 2 years building the technology, building our own learning models, building our own machine learning. And when we brought it to market, we knew that when we brought this to Bell's, that within the first 30 days, we brought that hiring time down by 88%. We knew we were on something pretty significant.
Wow. It's pretty exciting. You say the we. Who's the we?
So there's no I in team. I'm a big team guy. So our company we're based out of Tampa, Florida. We've got 20 plus people in the company. We're an early stage startup, but we've got big goals, big mission. Our mission, we wake up every day. Our mission in life is to make hiring the easiest part of the day, because for these restaurant managers, for these senior living coordinators, I mean, hiring is the hardest part of the day. And that's just for them. I don't know if anybody listening to this has ever applied to a job, but think about what you had to go through to apply to a job. And what happens with a lot of these hourly workforce frontline workers is, I mean, they live check to check. And so they need that job. And if you think about it, they'll go on to a job board. They'll do probably 20, 25 applications. And typically what happens is when they click submit to that application, they wait and wait and wait and wait, because the manager on the other end is busy running the store. They're busy hiring people. And so they don't have a chance to get to that person fast enough. And so that's why we've come out with our mission that we're full force on, make hiring the easiest part of the day. Because again, these guys and these women are out here on the field. They're trying to run an organization. They're trying to run a store. They're trying to run a restaurant. This is just part of what they have to do. So if we can build a technology and implement a technology that removes all of the low value minutia to make room for the meaningful, the one thing that really matters in this process is a applicant shows up for an interview. I meet with that applicant, make that human connection, make a decision, yes or no, and move on and get that person to work fast. And that's what these people want. The managers want it, and the applicants want it.
Very exciting, Jim. Looking forward to hearing more as the company progresses. If someone wants to learn more about Chattr before I meet with you again, how do they find you?
We're on all the channels, but if you want to go to www.chattr, and it's CHTTR.ai, CHATTR.ai. And again, you can find us on LinkedIn, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We post weekly valuable content about what's going on in the industry and really about our journey too.
Perfect. Thank you for being on Radio Entrepreneurs today, and remind our listeners, there's more to come always on Radio Entrepreneurs.